Post Void is a psychedelic, fast-paced, first-person shooter action roguelike. Now, I've loved this game ever since I bought it. This game is one of the most unique indie games I've ever played when it comes to visuals and mechanics. So, see everything you left in? That should help. And it's constantly draining the enemies take massive chunks out of it. So how do you regain this health? Murder, of course. Killing these things gives you essence for your headshot thing. And since this health is constantly draining, you're encouraged to kill shit and get through the stage as fast as possible. You don't get a single moment to think because your health is constantly draining, so you have to keep on moving. At the end of each level, you get to choose a power-up or a weapon. These power-ups can range from having more health, or making bullets bounce off walls, or making enemies explode when they die. These power-ups can make or break a run, and all the power-ups and weapon options are selected at random at the end of the level. Speaking of weapons, there's 4 main ones you can choose. There's a pistol, your starting weapon, and probably the second best weapon in the game. It's very reliable for popping heads and has a decent fire rate depending on how fast you can click, and also has a really fast reload. There's also a double barrel shotgun, my personal favourite to use. Kills most if not all enemies in the game with one hit, and it's even better when used as a synergy with the faster reload and bigger clip power-ups. The problem with this is that it's only really effective early game, and the reload and slow firing will probably end the run late game. Still really fun to use though. There's the Uzi, which is probably the best weapon in the game overall. And has the highest frame rate and pretty damn decent accuracy. It doesn't take too long to reload either. The only real drawback to it is that you can only fire in short bursts, because your character's old frail man arms can't handle the recoil. Pretty much all my successful runs have been with the Uzi. And finally, the knife. Probably the worst weapon in the game overall, but damn is it fun. You can click for one quick stab, or hold for a powerful strike which kills most things in one hit. The problem is, most enemies will attack you before you have a chance to strike, especially late game. It's just really fun to go around shaking people though like your average British person. What would be a good FPS game without enemies? And this game has pretty good enemy variety. There's the basic suits, the first enemies you encounter and the easiest to take out in the whole game. There's the flamingos, which is basically your pinky type enemy. There's the crying owls, which are attached to a wall and fire projectiles at you. The telehand, which are annoying ass flying drones that fly towards you and distort your vision when you get hit. And finally, the bulb hand, little dickheads that make an annoying high-pitched sound when they get close and distort your vision. They're just really tiny and hard to hit. The game has quite a few things to master if you're that sort of guy. The movement is one of these things. It seems fairly basic with only moving, jumping and sliding, but the sliding is one of the most fun things about this game. If you don't slide at least once in a firefight, you're playing the game wrong. Your slide gives you a lot of speed and minimises your hitbox. Knowing when to slide can be the line between life and death. There can be a bit of strategy involved too, with knowing the synergy between weapons and getting flamingos to follow you, so you can get a full heal when you need it. This game can also be hard as shit. The runs are really short but really hard too. It took me around an hour and a half to be able to beat the game for the first time. You can also beat the game in like 7 to 8 minutes, but some of the stuff the later levels throw at you is insane. Beating the game really requires a mastery of the movement and mechanics in this game. Despite the difficulty, there were only a few times I really wanted to rip my laptop monitor off. Pretty much every time I got my eyes blasted, I hit that restart button with a smile on my face. Unlike some games, Sekiro. Now, there's one thing I haven't talked about yet, and those are the visuals. And goddamn, is it cool. The game looks like an LSD trip. All the enemies look bizarre, all the walls and floor are contorting up and down, making it look like the map itself is alive. The drafting you hold looks weird as shit, I love it. But there is some drawbacks to the visuals though. Like, if you have epilepsy, just don't play this game. Don't even bother. Like, there's a white flash when you shoot your weapon, which will happen a lot by the way. And the game over screen shows a bunch of shit in rapid succession, and that's a one-way ticket to Siegeville. The visuals paired with the randomly generated levels can make it fairly easy to get lost due to every hallway looking the same. The devs knew this too, because they put in a compass as a power-up. Still an issue nonetheless. So, should you buy this game? If you don't have epilepsy, I'd say you should probably pick it up. It's highly replayable and addictive, the shooting's fun, it's hard so you'll probably get your money's worth, and what's more, it's only $4 Australian. So you aren't really losing your entire life savings if you buy it. Anyway, buy the game. I rate it like a 9 out of 10, I don't really do ratings. Anyway, see ya.